wonder if anybody else will show up. Well, it doesn't really matter. I think I'm recording this more or less for people to come back to and click when they're wondering some dumb shit about me that they should already know in the first place, but they apparently don't. I just need to clear the air about what's been going on lately and what has happened in the past, which you may not notice at the moment in time. Yeah, there's a lot of the conversation that's being talked about this damn near old, well over a year old. Not that it makes a difference, but it's not what everybody thinks. This didn't. Prop and trolls didn't come up with some weird fucking blah blah blah. What the thing, whatever. Uh, no, he came up with all this on his own. Hey, Nicole, how are you? I had no knowledge. Well, okay, I did have a little bit of knowledge. I was told to. I was going to get blasted on, and not to get mad. That's what Prowl told me. I didn't understand what he meant by that until he proceeded to post the email and stuff that I sent. Oh my god, I think it was like a year or more ago when I destroyed the other channel. And I was getting ready, I think that same night or the next night was my last live that I was going to be in on any of my own channels, which is why in the email you see it mentioned, like, I'll tell you which name it said and the other, because I was literally about to just leave YouTube. And I was just basically under the estimation. I just was like, you know what? This is how I'm going to make my mic drop. I'm going to fucking, they want to attack me. They want to have lives. They want to dox me. They want to do all the shit like that. Mike, well, I got this. So I went with it. No, every bit of that's fucking true. And people don't realize why would I implicate myself in the whole matter if it was not. And I don't know certain perspectives of that whole thing. I really can't say too much. Well, the last time I left, just out of that whole story for a long period of time, because I tend to protect people, certain people, like, well, do I even need to explain? Obviously, especially with what's all perspired lately or whatever, whatever. With Moon and all that other stuff, which nobody ever wanted to believe me. Like, you don't do this, you don't do that. That's not true. Okay, well, if we were happening to be, which I think it was only like, what was it, like 200 views, something like that? Not even. I believe there was quite a few people there, honestly. I will not be putting her back through that again. I'm not going to get into it, but I did not go too well. I did think it helped in some sense, which is what I was trying to do, is for her to have a therapeutic effect involving the trauma that she experienced with Tony Klein. It did help with that. In other ways, it did not. It was not very good. So, yeah. Yeah, I didn't think there should be a recording of her in that state. If you saw, you know what it is I'm talking about. If people have questions or whatnot involving any individuals like that, well, I can answer them quite well for you. There was a reason I didn't ever once even ask her about anything involving Tony Klein from the moment I met her to. Well, at one point after the conviction, we were trying to figure out if Tony and Kagan were involved in any way, shape, or form whatsoever. And I finally tried to ask her some questions back then, because me and Sleuth Intuition were trying to figure out a list of questions to be able to ask her and stuff on the low. and just gonna repeat the answers on the live or whatever it was, and just go with that. And she didn't take that very well either, and that never worked out. She did come up here in defense of me in regards to, she didn't like people sitting there calling me a liar and all this other shit when it was obviously I was telling the truth. And I don't hate anybody. I really don't. I don't like ultimatums, and I don't like people telling me what to do. And as I've said 1,000 times in the past, I have no respect for authority. So the first time you think that you're above me in any way, shape, or form, your life's about to turn into living hell because I'm a really bad pain in the ass. And yeah, it is what it is. I kind of get along with some forms of authority. Like I was chill with the Jinx and all that shit for quite some time. Um, we was all good friends and shit back then. It wasn't until later people kept getting mad at me because of those who I watch and this, that, and the other. And I tend to show up in the chat board and everything else. And certain people did not want me watching episodes or being in the chats with like Angela's group and same guards goes for like Snae's group and all the others. Which oddly enough, out of all the people lately that actually always seems to come at me as a man and directly talks to me and doesn't show a fucking nasty bit of disrespect that I seem to be getting from one side here, well, two sides here actually. Snape of all people, yeah, I'm gonna say I still got mad respect for him. He didn't understand a bunch of the situations. When he asked, he was well behind everybody else at this point because nobody had told him anything. When I filled him in, and I'm not saying I'm on his side either. I'm not on anybody's side. I never will be on anybody's side. I like everybody involved in most part. Yeah, even Noe at times has seemed redeemable. I don't know why anybody's talking about justice for Noe. And it's probably going to make some people mad, but I gotta say it. Anybody that doesn't think that nobody's getting justice at the moment of time does not know what he was charged with and why and what preceded that event in the first place. If I did these events, I would have admitted to it and just gone to jail and just, that's just how it goes. I'm sorry, these things were pretty fucking bad and something I would never do. FYI, it's not. I'm not really trying to fucking drive anybody in the mud, but at the same time, I'm trying to tell everybody to go fuck themselves, if this makes any sense. So I'm not going to really just crank into fucking Louis either. But I will say, yeah, you fucked up. That's why you're there. As we're men, right? We're supposed to accept responsibility for our actions. Yeah, there you go. And Prof, I don't understand why certain creators or whatever will somehow equate fucking how many subs you got with how much power you seem to have, because it's the way not what's going on here. You can't just talk to people that you think are below you. I don't know. Like I said, I don't have too much of a problem with anybody around here. I'm just tired of people trying to pull me this way, pull me that way. I'm on nobody's side. As I said at the very beginning of this, the information that was in the life he's had for over a year. And he makes the comment of he's going to let Noe know all about it. Don't let them lie to you. Noe knows all fucking about it. I told Noe my fucking self. I mean, you ain't gotta believe me, but trust me, if Noe was right here on the phone, he would say, yo, fucking Troll told me a while ago, right before the Heavy-thon, actually, that Noe was in. So there you go. Alex, I'm sure she told Adrian, but everybody has been I think, yeah, even now Snay even knows what's going on. Plain and simple. At the time, I thought I needed some sort of massive army because I really wanted to fucking lay waste to everything. I wanted to destroy this entire fucking community and then let some decent people fucking rebuild it from scratch because it's all toxic and fucking nasty and disgusting, this whole fucking thing. And the fact that now it's not just 2 girls, but 6 girls, and the lives. That's all they think of when they think about those girls, is that they got murdered and the fucked up shit that happened behind the scenes. I get why everybody has their own different fucking opinion about who did this or who did what. Okay, well, until some certain things get explained or whatever, man, I can very easily pick apart most of Steve's case, from the timeline to the witnesses to. It's a joke. I don't do this to make people that he's innocent feel shit, and I don't do it because I have to do it both ways. You know what I'm saying? To legally eliminate most of the evidence, or at least downgrade the fuck out of it. I'm sorry, they had more against Casey Anthony. They had more against O.J. Simpson. I could go on and on for hours. About cases y'all probably don't know about. The serial guy that killed his ex-girlfriend and stuff. You know, these are people that are all technically not guilty. But we all know they're fucking guilty, right? I mean, technically, if you just die or vanish before you are indicted and convicted, and all that, and your appeals have run out. I think it's a weird thing also, how until your appeals and all that runs out, technically you still are kind of considered innocent a little bit, oddly enough. They don't talk about that, and if you were to die before a subsequent time period it happens, your slate will be completely clean, basically. Think of how many crimes were they never caught the killer, you know, especially with genetic genealogy out now. They didn't catch any killers until long after the killer himself was already dead. And I mean, but really, the bullet science, at best, we can say. I can only feel comfortable with saying at best it'd be like low quality. I forgot the word for it, oddly enough. Not direct evidence, but circumstantial evidence, like very low quality circumstantial evidence. You could probably get away with legally saying, we kind of think it came from a gun like this. And thus, you can literally say that, okay, well, Richard Allen does in fact own a gun. It's kind of like one of the ones that could have possibly left around, right? Okay. Seems fair, right? Mind you, just about probably every 40 caliber might also fit in that range. I don't know. I'm not an expert or anything like that. I just know when you tested 5 guns, 2 were inconclusive, 1 is a match, and the other 2 were negative. I'm not going to call that fucking badass science. It's not going to do it. Fingerprint analysis and all this other stuff. That's different. Actual ballistics based on the stria and all that other shit. No, for a long time now, I believe those things were actually DNA, really good fucking evidence. Problem is, in this case, DNA says completely edgewise because DNA supposedly, which at this point, if I don't trust the police with the investigation they did, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't really trust the forensic team either. They collected the evidence to test in the first place. Mr. Stephen Bruckes all went out to the crime scene one night pretty soon after the crime. I know it was at some point. It's been moving all over the place and lit up like fucking New Year's Eve. Straight up plain out and simple. So are you telling me that the fucking forensic team tested every single bit of every single trace of fucking human DNA off and all that shit? I'm not buying it. I'm just not fucking buying it. They didn't collect the stakes for fucking God knows how long. You can damn sure know they didn't do a good job collecting evidence at that scene. The mask full of blood. Are you going to tell me that somehow, some way, this guy's DNA on some little bit of that blood that we just... No. I don't trust them to have gone through the entire pool or any of that stuff. And after all that, and the crime that fucking would happen, I'm sorry, that took a very violent, very physical fucking crime. There should have been something. There should have. Period. Wouldn't even matter, okay? Let's not. The confessions. Okay, somehow, someway, you're going to say, fuck the Geneva Convention that they call torture. Understood. Okay. Well, let's just slide on that one, I guess. But I don't know which dumbass fucking chick said this, but apparently it's not in isolation if you have an iPad. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm sure Guantanamo Bay just ordered a brand new fucking whole case of about 30 of them things just for the next Islamic prisoners they decided to fuck with. Right? Makes a lot of sense. I mean, just give them an iPad. Then they're not being tortured. It's okay. Logic. I do have a problem with people saying... I'm sure she was having the problems because of isolation. I do not think they were anywhere near as bad as everybody else thinks they were. The confessions were made, I think it was like a week or two or so before this. He told his own fucking father that he was going to announce a bunch of bullshit. And like I said, confession that everybody's trying to go balls to the walls on somehow doesn't match up with their fucking timeline. How is okay? We got the ring camera and everything else involving fucking Brad Weber, right? So when he's on that ring cam, we have a specific amount of distance he can get by how many miles per hour he's actually driving, and blah 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 blah. And the best time we probably that he got home, or best guess would probably be if he was 44 after. Okay, so how did a Brad Weber get home at 3:44 and erupt, or whatever time it was? The murders, when you have 4 witnesses testifying that at 3:41, they all saw a bridge guy heading back to his car. Now, bridge guy's on his way back to his fucking car, then that would tell me that the girls are already dead or dying. So you figure that one out for me, y'all, because I mean it's just the math's not mathing in my head. How's the best fucking question that you got? It's bullshit. They're all bullshit, and he meant for them to be all bullshit. As I said, I'm not guessing that, but he told his father that. Very plain and simple. Like I said, get mad at me if you want, but these are, you can look up the phone call that he has with his father, or it's the transcript even, and you'll see it word for word. I'm telling you the truth. I'm not saying that because you can do stuff like that while having super mental breakdown, mind you, and that's the problem. Um, I'm a very antisocial person. I believe in this type of situation, even I would be pretty fucked with mentally or whatever. So, yeah, I don't see how we can somehow use these fucking confessions for anything. I mean, well, that's not entirely true. It's always said that the best lies contain mostly the truth. And I actually find that true. But at the same time, we shouldn't be able to use them to somehow hold against them in the court of law. But I get that. I agree with that, actually. But at the same time, can we use the information he's given us to somehow track down other things more like towards the truth or whatever? That I think we should be able to. Because even if you're fucking fucked in the head or whatever, if you're relying on the memory and trying to construct things in your own head, yeah, you're going to give us some details that actually we can use. And rather than everybody dwelling on just this one confession, yeah, get the fucking all of them trying to find out what they all say. Because I'm guaranteeing there's little chunks here, little chunks there of things that actually can be used. I've always felt so, or at least like a lot of people don't like Willa's testimony and believe most of what she says is bullshit. In his own words, I think Richard Allen's at least confirmed some of the things, or at least one of the things she said, or at least a good portion of it. You know, whatever this whole religion thing was that at some point he wanted to give up the Bible. I don't know if that's true. We're just going by, I guess, well, that's what everybody seems to be telling me, but I'm not even sure anymore. But yeah, I've seen Richard Allen's own words where he's confirming basically that he tried to go to faith and everybody called him a liar and said he was faking it. At some point, I'd love to show everybody that, but I need permission to show it. So I never said I wouldn't talk about it. See, that's the loophole I like to use so she doesn't kill me. But yeah. But yeah, the email I wrote to him, I think it was the same night or the next night I had that live, and I was on my way out, ran to Diana, and well, here we are. I was attacked because of a half-assed joke I was trying to play along with. Got so misconstrued it wasn't even funny. Not that it matters to me at all, because how do you like certain individuals like as a separate entities, but as a group, you can't stand any of them, if that makes any sense. Um, Most of the creators on YouTube, they either fucked me over, try to use me as some sort of weapon or something. Or just hold ass because plain out and simply enough that somebody told them to. I was doing the I can't read it. Damn it. Well, because that was another problem when the live was going on too, with Moon. That I was having to play pieces into two different phones at the same time, one for the chat and one for the thing. I didn't really have any mods here, and at the same time, somebody had to be checking on Moon to make sure she was okay. And at that point, I did not think it was going to go anything like that. So yeah, get a little fucking hectic pretty damn quickly. And no, at the time, I was not in a straight mind when all this shit went down in the first place. And I started just fucking attacking anybody and everybody. At that point, I mean, I held back on the women because I just thought that was the right thing to do. And that just made them just come at me even harder. So, I don't know, I don't feel right about attacking them or whatever. But, I don't think or really care about any of these groups to begin with. I didn't want to be in that one. I like the idea of hanging out with the people like Jinx and all them or fucking cool as shit. Yeah, Ruckus. I have no issue with Ruckus at all. Even though I think he called me out when he said it's amazing how someone's loyalty or something is out the window or some shit the moment they get opportunities. Prof has offered me all along to have me in all these shows and shit with him and Snay and this, that, and the other, and Alex and all them as well. My YouTube account with Bloom, it's massive. Yeah, you can see how that went, right? I don't turn them all down. I fought for myself. I'm not going to say I did as good as I expected to, but honestly, for one person against whatever odds, fuck up. I think I did pretty good. Yeah, and I'm getting really tired of these undercard players keep showing up thinking they have a right to speak to me about anything involving this shit. It's like, for one, you weren't even around when all this happened. For two, I can't even understand the fucking word you say, and I'm just tired of hearing you shit in the first place. I don't watch shows. I shouldn't have to talk to you. I don't listen or watch trash. Okay? If it makes you feel better, you can call me irrelevant again. I really wish that were true. As far as this society is concerned, I'm getting tired of all the bullshit. If I don't agree to what the demands are by certain individuals, I get threatened and attacked. As you're seeing right now, like I said, the information was well over a year old, probably. If you remember when I had my other channel, I'm going to delete it right then. I've learned that in this group of people, you really shouldn't just trust me. Most of them, like 99% of them, could be trusted. Viewers, readers, there has been quite a few of them that are straight up cool with me and everything else, but I really don't consider them Delphi creators, to be honest with you. Colonel Ali, Teresa, she's always been great to me. We were told that we shouldn't be watching her and showing up in her lives and this and that and the other, and I kind of told them to kiss my ass. Because I don't care if you kick her out or whatever, she's still my friend, and I will keep talking to her as much as I fucking please. And doing lives and everything else with them. Can you imagine how weird it is, being directed to like watch Reno live or something like that, but being told you can't watch Criminality? It's kind of it's weird. It gives me like chills. I watch a whole bunch of people that were good people get kicked out, like Marv, Teresa. The only thing Teresa did wrong was her opinion changed. Which, if you know anything about me, I do what the fuck I want, and everybody knows my opinion. If not, I'll give it to you. Um, that's all it was. Her mind's flipped and flopped and all this other crap. And honestly, I don't disagree with her on a lot of the stuff. There's a lot of questionable things going on and all kinds of things. And I don't necessarily disagree with the whole conspiracy theory box either. Sorry to put it that way. I'm just saying. Um, there's definitely like odd shit there. Okay. I'm not disagreeing with any of that. But whether or not that's even connected to the murders, well, there's a lot involving the murders too, or just some weird shit with law enforcement. Hey, that's not our job to figure out. I think the federal law is checking into things like that right about now. So, yeah, let them do their job, and let's stop acting we're police officers and shit. I never liked certain individuals. You could always tell they were up to something. Maybe it's because I'm usually always up to something. I guess it's the saying that goes, you can't bullshit a bullshitter. Tyler Carpenter, the moment I first met him, was like a Mark Cohen. I was like, they seem all right. I'll work on being their friend and this, that, the third. But when you're kind of, I want to say, terrorized by someone, when you have a memory like mine, it's almost like torture because it don't matter if it's months down the road or whatever else. Somebody says a specific thing or whatnot, you don't forget it. So when these things stories start changing, things keep flipping, or you're trying to figure out the answer to some sort of mystery and those other shit, and it starts to dawn upon you that you know exactly where the bullshit's been coming from in the first place, and that's usually one of these people. Or hell, I think I stopped liking Reg right off the bat, just plain out simply like he had a bad vibe. He gave me a bad fucking vibe, straight up. Yeah. He seems like he was after one specific thing. I did find out subsequently. Yeah, that was probably correct. I'm going to get into that as well. Um, we did what had to be done to get Reg out of the picture because Reg, I didn't jump anybody with the troll farm. I think the only time I entered the same place where another member was doing something was right after Reg flipped out and got doxxed. Or no, got doxxed and flipped out. In the Discord, somebody posted, and I'm just not going to name them because, believe it or not, I still have my loyalties to a lot of people. And when I clicked the link right away because I wanted to start some trouble because it sounded like fun. I wanted to fuck the prop. To be honest with you, I wanted to troll the shit out of him. I got there into the Discord, and him and Tyler Carpenter were talking, and it sounded like basically the prop was telling Tyler to dox everybody in our server, more or less, to save his own ass. Which basically, yes, that's exactly what they were talking about at the time. At the time, I didn't, rush attack the prop or whatever because, for one, it just seemed odd because it was like Greg was in there already before the link even got posted. This was a middle of the conversation kind of thing. Like, I don't think we were supposed to see it. Red did come back subsequently 2 weeks later and asked Prop not to dox two individual certain people. Um, by this point, enough had already been done behind the scenes that Reg was about to be terrified out of his mind and whole ass. He did ask Prop not to dox the people or that person after I scared. I don't know if, well, I'm sure the police knew at some point that bikers and shit were being used. That was my idea. Um, Bossy and, well, I'm not sure. I honestly remember what Bossy thought, but nobody agreed with me. It was just, well, like I said in the email, Ruckus didn't seem to disagree with me at the same time. He wasn't, it was just like, I think I made my point. And that was, they wanted to rely on the police as a way to make sure that these women weren't hurt or that Tony wasn't doing anything bad. And I told him, see, the problem with that is when you rely on police officers, they respond. So they won't know about anything happening until they're already dead and they're responding to it to investigate it. And that's what I said. I'm like, cops are just responders. They're first responders. I'd rather use something that's like taking the initiative instead. You just constantly keep an eye on the people like they should be doing in the first place to make sure nothing happens to them. And yeah, I had the two ladies followed, and then I had Tony Klein followed. No harm was supposed to come to them or anything else. From what I know, my own personal correspondence with the people that were following him, the cops were there too. So it's not like, anything weird was going on or whatever. It's just more like keeping tabs. Yeah. Constantly, somebody had an eye on fucking Tony Klein. Trust me on that. And I'm talking about as a law enforcement. Because when all this was going down, sure enough, him and Pete Keegan were doing here. Yeah, they were the persons of interest. They were everything, blah, 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 blah. It didn't make much sense to me. I did make that massive post or whatever, saying why it couldn't be Keegan, or I tore apart the voice, I tore apart the way the guy looked. I even said, like, he's too short to be Tony Klein. That voice is too deep to be Tony Klein. All this other shit. There's no way Tony Klein or Keegan Klein fucking bridge guy. Period. I still say that. I think just in the English show the other morning, I was like, objection, bridge guy has a neck. He cannot be Keegan Klein. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm about to open the chat up on the second phone, and I'll see what Rachel or whoever is said. And mods, if you're here, if the happy-go-lucky, well, I guess, yeah, just ban Dominic if he shows up, because I wasn't going to use his name or anything like that anymore, and I wasn't. I was being good about it, but he just keeps on showing up, so, yeah, fuck it. So instead, I'm just going to, tell him about who he is. That'll really annoy him. But yeah. What was I going to say? Yeah, we a while ago we found these connections between but we knew that he worked at the auto plant or whatever with them. I think Richard Allen was on custodial, and Klein was on actual protection and all that shit. And then we knew that he worked at the CBS near where the client lived in Peru. I think there was even a connection with the wives of Richard Allen and TK being Robin, I think it was. Um, like they had the same school or some shit like that. But there's a difference because you can also make the connection between Richard Allen and like a Brad Weber, and it's a lot of small town bullshit. Is what I call it, and you can't really say what's involved in the case or what's small town bullshit. The DNA, if they did the job right and everything else, it bothers me. It bothers me greatly because everything I know about true crime and cases and stuff, which, I'll probably know more cases on here than anybody fucking does. I mean, I like it. I'm not trying to be cocky. I'm not trying to throw it around. I'm just literally saying, I guarantee I've been doing this since I was like 6 years old, including my own problems with the law. And I was questioning myself for multiple murders. And I'm finding it. I'll let your imaginations run wild with that one. But I no, I don't think there was enough physical evidence that the police had to convict Richard Allen. I just don't. On the best days, I think anymore, I just don't see it there. I know it's him. I mean, okay, let's just be clear. I know Richard Allen was involved in the crime. He was there, and he is the bitch guy. He's the guy from the video, and he at least killed one of the girls. There's enough information to get that far, but convict him of that? No. I think they had the information to be able to do that, right? And they fucked it all up. All they had to do, the smoking gun in the Delphi case, or it should have been smoking gun in the Delphi case, because we'll now know that subsequently Richard Allen changed his story about it and everything else, is the brain from that fucking car. The cops knew about the car. They mentioned the car in the fucking press conference, right? Cop 101 literally states if you cannot identify a perpetrator, the next best thing for you to identify, or is the next thing that you need to go down and fucking break through, is anything and everything you can identify. So if you have this many cars, and I'm not even saying the one car, all those cars in that fucking video, every one of the motherfuckers should have been tracked down, because if you had done that, what do you still find within a couple of weeks? Richard Allen. Bam. I don't care if people have arguments to make in regards of, how do I put it? Oh, that wasn't that kind of course now. Okay. Put back on the 7 or 8 different models that also could be that you guys claim it could be, and we'll track those down too. Point is, if you do all that, they had unlimited resources. They had all these agents and federals and all these other motherfuckers. This should have been nothing. It should have been taken a couple of weeks. This is what cops do. They follow leads. They fucking find cars. They license plate matching and all this other bullshit and all this other crap. None of it was done. How the hell do you take the most basic thing that you're supposed to do in an investigation and never do it for fucking... It's almost like the searchers looking for the ghost bodies in the first place. People can't fathom. How the hell did they not find them if they were out there the whole time? They couldn't find a fucking car in 8.5 years. If they can't find a car, what fucking makes you think they're so trustworthy to find the bodies? Right? Just saying. Yeah, I'm opening the chat right now. 1 second. But yeah, some people don't like it when I use the term identic or photographic memory and everything else. That's fine. I'll just say I have really good fucking memory. How about that? And for the life of me, I can't never forget the sound of bridge guys talking. And until I heard that voice, I was never going to name ever having a suspect. I told people that for damn near 9 years or whatever long it took. Um, right after Richard Allen was arrested, we were able to track down not a patrol car. I think it was me and other just individual people, but we were able to track down Kathy's fucking Facebook since he no longer had one. Several videos on the website, including like a ski lift video, stuff like that, waterfall video, all this other shit. It was close, and not close enough for me to still name him as a suspect. Not close enough. It wasn't when somebody posted the audio from his voicemail. Now, I know that seems weird or whatever, but it being recorded through an app, which was recorded through a phone, which was probably in somebody's pocket, it's not going to come out exactly the right dead on everything wise. But I'm guessing because the voicemail was an app and another, enough clicks were made that when I heard the voicemail, the dialect was right, the tone, the depth, all that shit. Everything was good. All right. Any names you haven't said that would be surprising? In regards to what? I mean, because I can understand the people that did a lot of, depending on which subject we're even talking about, if we're talking about in the investigation, well, I mean, the people I knew of, they talked to the people at the very top. I think the only one I never heard anybody talking directly to, unless it was like a really brief shot in public or something at an event or something like that, was Doug Carter himself. As far as I know, I'm only protecting one name. Yeah, just the one, and none of y'all know this person. Because if they were somehow involved in this grisly murders or anything like that, you would best believe I would not be protecting them. But particular names, no. I think if you heard the stories and shit involved in most of these people and all that, really y'all haven't heard much of anything yet. I don't. A lot of this I'm maybe going to tell. I might write a book one day for shits and giggles, just to have it out there in all in one place because it's insanity. I joke around and I tell people I have main character syndrome. Because a whole bunch of shit always fucking happens to me. And this entire case is really basically fucking proving me completely 100% right. I can't tell anybody. That one name is nobody that y'all need to know about. I don't really think there's any conspiracy, and I never really thought there was any kind of conspiracy as regards to the online groups or whatever. I thought that every group had its own little questionable bullshit. This is why I chose to stay out of all three. The conspiracy theory group, well, you see the kind of shit that Prop does. Just look at the other night. I had no control. He had, this was his way of making sure that somehow not becoming troll again. People can't understand what I consider sort of kind of make it sound like I'm talking respectful about somebody. But at the same time, I'll tell you what, there's nothing, I mean, You want me to implicate these massive bad people or whatever? As far as uh, what was it? There was Reagan, and then there was Mark Cohen, and Mark. I wouldn't even really call. I want to say it. I wouldn't even really call that bad, honestly. Um, really paranoid, kind of annoying, but if you discount the leak shit and all that, I don't think they. I think a lot of things about Mark. A lot of it's not good. Okay. Um, I'm not sure the personal opinion that he is faking, and this is just me. But I don't think his daughter and him are faking that. I just don't. It's just one of those rumors that's gone around, like selling crime scene photos inside of a GoFundMe. Biggest members of the troll farm that I know of thus far, or at least notoriously. As I said, criminality was in there. She never did nothing wrong. She's very supportive, very positive creator. No issue with her whatsoever. I already mentioned the three hidden members. I didn't realize the other day that I came first and then they showed up, which basically means that they probably would not even known about her in the first place if I hadn't made my post calling her a troll. So I take responsibility in that as well. And also probably, yeah, since Bossy was with them when they first started kind of attacking me, yeah, I would have been the first person ever attacked by the group as well, which is hilarious. I hope I get to be the last one too, but no. Hmm. Oh wait, what did Rachel say? Did you tell the smoking gun? No, I mean, as far as I can say, as regards to a smoking gun in this case that should have been there or could have been had, is the brain of the car. It literally contradicts Richard Allen's story. It puts him there at the time of the crime, if it indeed is found back then, and it is as he originally said it was. I feel if all that literally is true. Yeah, then you have something that you can yank his ass into a fucking interrogation room and start, going off on him on why are you lying about this? What are you trying to hide? Let's not even count the obvious point that she has offered no fucking alibi whatsoever. None that fucking one. And I mean, Ashley Garth case. Of course, I know about the Ashley Garth case. Her and Garrett Kurtz. Garrett Kurtz, a serial killer, killed Amanda. I think it was Amanda. Fuck, what was her name? No, Nancy or Amanda or something like that. Don't tell me I'm trying to think of it. Oh, shit. Amanda Barnes? Or some shit? I can't. You know who I'm talking about. She was strangled at like a party like event. I think it was said that actually held her down while Kurt strangled her to death. Kurtz was also convicted later on of the murder of Marcus or something like that. Matthew Marcus something. I'm horrible with names if you haven't guessed. Yeah. I've also seen this. I've heard the interviews he's done after the case with people trying to imply himself involved in the crime, but they're all missing. It's just like Elvis Field. If you're right there, feet away from this brutal double homicide, right, of two little fucking girls, you would think that the one detail they would at least have in their mind is, I mean, have you seen the descriptions and the diagrams of the weapon or the wounds that the girls got, right? If you're sitting there watching that, bad guy or not, would y'all have remembered it was a box cutter? I know I would, for sure. It makes no fucking sense why Elvis Fields can't provide one solid detail in his confession that that corresponds with the fucking actual crime scene. Hell, walk his ass out there without guiding them at all. Let's see if he can even just take us to where the bodies were found. How about that? Which I think it has been done. He could not. So, FYI. I don't know why I have to keep saying this over and over again. The reason we hold back details and all that crime scenes is because false confessions by people with mental problems and other reasons. What does that sound like? Just saying. No, I mean, to me, there was no chance in hell that this crime was committed by Gary Kurtz either. We know how Gary Kurtz kills fuckers. We know how he kills people. He's done showed us twice now. And the Delphi murders doesn't match up anywhere near the same modus operandi or whatever the hell it is. It's completely different. Even he himself, which I think his alibi is a crack of shit too. Ooh, it was on a drug binge or passed out for a week, or I don't buy that either. But at the same time, he probably said it that way. He's not dumb at all. I'll tell you that much. Uneducated, sure. He's not dumb. What that? What's up, bros? How you doing, bro? But yeah, I mean, I'm tired of the fucking drama, and that's all this damn community's been about. I was supposed to fucking be creating videos and whatnot, but when the main people that told me I should, other than the other members of that group, yeah, it was fucking Captain Howdy. And the irony in that is just, it does not escape. Which you see from whatsoever. And people may not like to hear it. It is fact. As far as I knew, since I got kicked out right before all this occurred, and right after Howdy was made a member, he was in there. I still believe he was in there. He still might be in there for all I know. But not that he ever did anything. I mean, I can't tell you what went on behind the scenes or anything like that, but it's not like, I wouldn't even call him what you guys call a troll farm. Plain and simple. He was a member of Jinx Court. I'd like to make that clear, even though we're talking about 60 to 100 people at most points. Only 10 to 20 of those people were actually considered, the pain in the asses that you would think of. There are some people that if I ever get to talk to them again, I have to apologize to because they never did anything wrong to me. And that felt pretty shitty. But at the time, as I said, I was going out and trying to take out as many heads with me as I possibly could. So, not that is an excuse. I think in regards to some people, like Ruckus, just said he was fucking lame because he did a live Freakmeister and Francis where they were talking, I assume talking shit because I don't want trash. So, I did see the live, as in the link itself and all that, and I was just like, well, there you go. I see there is no fucking loyalty here. So, yeah, that's why I said that in the email about him being lame, because, yeah. Other than that, got no problem with Ruckus. As I said, the other stuff involving him being the source of the link, I don't know. I was not there. Somebody else that I do trust told me that. So I don't know what to really. I've heard from now multiple sources now that he wasn't. But believe it or not, these weren't even told of these until like maybe about a month ago or so. But they weren't able to give me much information at the time either, and I'm still waiting to hear about that. To why they're so sure of the whole thing. But I'm gonna lay it flat out for you, plain and simply. It would not matter to me if Ruckus was the one that leaked the photos in the first place. I have looked at crime scene photos for damn near all every damn case that I have ever been researched. Every single one of them. If they exist, I've looked at them. I never saw the whole leak of the actual photos, as long as they were somehow doctored or did whatever to make sure that there wasn't any bad stuff in them. You know what I'm saying? But no, I have no problem whatsoever about the photos being shown or anything like that. What's already been done in regards to them, it's already been done. I get that there was a gag order, but as we have all already established, I have no respect for authority. Now, I don't agree with the Astro Simpson that have spammed these photos, sent it to them to the families, and all this other shit. No, that's a whole other matter. That's just being a piece of shit. Uh, that's not cool. Anybody got a question or something? It don't matter if it's another case, another case. It don't really make a difference. Yeah, I mean, it's like whenever I try to put out a live that's actually going to be like explosive or whatever like that, it's something that happens right away for me to have to delete them. I have ended up having guests on here where they have like massive amounts of subscribers and this and that and the other. And well, they just asked me to take the live down because there was something identifiable about them in the video, and I agreed with it, and I deleted it. I don't care to be popular. I really don't. Oh, crap. Okay. Well, I had Tony clients. I had a lot. Most people don't know that I somehow got involved with the whole troll farm and everything else because I was there to protect. I guess I can say it now. Tony Klein's ex-wife, who at the time was also being questioned by detectives in the Delphi murders. The persons of interest they seem to be implying at the time also were Tony Klein and Kagan Klein. That's how I got involved. This is why I was able to get like so quickly into the whole troll group and all this other crap. It's because I never even asked them to be in it. They asked me instead because she had forgotten talking to me. She added me on Facebook, forgotten all that. So when I reached back out with her, she forgot that she had told me certain details, and she saw me talking about certain details. She told them because she freaked out, thinking, and they all did, mind you, that I was working for Rich Guy, aka Tony Klein, and I was trying to murder them. I can't make this shit up. I swear to you. She was just here the other night verifying that. I got jumped by like trolls for a while, not understanding what was going on, but having fun with it because they weren't very good, I thought. And then finally, when it ended, I got asked to come on Discord, where I in fact met Jinx, who I knew her from his chat by that point, with Bo. And I didn't talk to her then, but I knew somewhere around there Moon was hiding. It was made clear. At first, I thought we were just protecting the two women because of their connections to whatever. But then I found out that this whole entire time, Dreadnought Pirate or some, I forget what his freaking account name was, that was always talking to me in there like he knew me or whatever, but I had no idea who the hell he was. That turned out to be Mark Robert Cohen, which, if you don't know who that is, like, what the fuck are you doing here? I guess, right? At this time, I'm probably going and imploding in my own nature because I don't like being told what to do. I got a stalker just fucking with me. When Prop put it on an email I sent well over a year ago when I deleted my original account. The one with like almost 1,000 subs or whatever on it. So, like I said, I don't care. I don't want to be popular. I just don't. What was it? Basically, it was like I said before. It was like basically my mic drop or whatever. I had knew about some crimes that occurred while in the group, and I notified the victims. Which at one point, yeah, I was trying to start some shit because they wouldn't leave me alone. And I'm just that person. If you just keep fucking with me, I'm just gonna drop nukes and just let God sort out the bodies, you know. And that's basically what this had become. Anybody and everybody. These, you know, I attacked anybody I possibly could. Yeah. Because it wasn't really like all of them were attacking me. It was just Jinx and then that stalker chick. That's it. I think it more or less pissed me off more than anything that fucking nobody either believed me or just didn't care. I just, you know, was just pissed off at the time. And I did warn him. I was like, hey, if you don't stop, you need to remember, I have some shit you just don't seem to remember. And, well, it was okay. Tyler Carpenter, a.k.a. Greg Dunlap. Everything was fine until one day when Prof doxed him and released the fact that his name was Tyler Carpenter. At first, like I said, we read his Discord. Greg was already there talking to him. I think me and the bear guy, the grizzly guy who does all the music and stuff for Delphi and for a lot of things, he was there. Miss Persevere, I do believe, was there as well, and maybe another one or two people, I think, at that exact moment. But yeah, we seemed to enter in like halfway through the conversation, and it seemed to be Prop was telling them to dox everybody in the fucking server. I'd already doxed myself, so I really didn't feel like I everybody had my information. I didn't have, you know, my criminal charges, all that shit. I gave that all of them because, well, they had run background checks on me, and I do know Turbo. I think I was told ran one, and I'm not even going to get into the other one because it's a pain in the ass. But yeah, they basically showed me my hidden Facebook accounts, or at least one of them, some all this other crap. When I first joined or whatever. So, okay, the conversation between Bragg and Prop ends. Bragg leaves. I'm bored at that point because there's no fun jumping anybody, so I just left. No, I gotta subtract back a month before that to tell this part of the story. Because I'm not entirely sure if I really told most of this part of the this is about me creating the whole plane in the first place. It's just a big fucking joke. Jinx had been drinking one night, and she was bored, and as often as not that often or whatever, but whenever Jinx had an idea or whatever, and it seemed funny and amusing, and I was high, and she was like, you know, something like that, she'd say, "Hey, let's do this," and I'm like, "All right, let's do that." And one night she randomly comes up to me while she was drinking, and she tells me that no, he's alive. She goes, if I call his one phone number and you call his other phone number 1,000,000 times, I think we'll kick him off the internet. I'm like, I'm down. Let's do this. And we proceeded to do it. It actually did work. I thought that was hilarious. But after we got it kicked off the internet or whatever, he answered the phone with me on the line, but I could hear he was talking to whoever was, and he was being a real dick to her. And some people get emotional when they're drunk or whatever, and he was being a real asshole to her, and she got upset. And I'm over here on the other end going, hang the fucking phone up. What the fuck? She finally did, or she hung up on her, or whatever the hell happened, and she was upset. And I just wanted to say something to make her feel better. And it sounds dumb as shit, but you gotta understand the kind of person I portray on here. So, I was just like, yo, if it makes you feel better, we can get a hold of my cousins. I go up to Indiana, get this stuff off my cousins, plant it on Noe, get Noe popped, and he goes back to jail for 20 plus years. Doesn't that sound like a great idea? Because at this point in time, I called the entire group that would later be known as the Troll Farm. I called them all church kids. Yeah. So they wanted to be bad, but they weren't really bad, so it was like church kids, And I knew that if I had said that to Jinx, she'd get it as a joke, which she did. But at the same time, I told her we needed to keep that joke to herself because we don't know what kind of idiot. Because it was pretty low. It probably took me seconds to think of it. It damn near covered up every last. It's obvious the plan would have worked. Okay. It even had me getting DNA off of Noe to implant on the bag itself. So if he claimed that the stuff wasn't his, you know what I mean? Very quickly, but very well laid out. Very fucking well laid out. As I thought, she didn't want to do it. So I was like, yeah, duh. And I'm like, hey, do me a favor just to make sure, don't tell anybody I fucking told you that. This was like a month or so, I think, before the Tyler got doxxed. Now I go into the Discord server that same day that he gets doxxed. And, I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. It's not the next day, one of the two. Tyler makes the comment, Charles, just the man I've been waiting for, looking for, whatever the hell it was. And I'm like, why? So he starts to tell me, hey, do you want me to get you tickets too? I'm like, what do I need tickets for what? He goes, to fly up here, because some people, which, I'm not going to name the people I know, because I had a conversation after all this, because as you'll see, I shut the whole thing down. But yeah, he wanted to get a whole bunch of, because Tyler's got some money, okay? And we joking with you. He's got his own company and all kinds of other stuff. So, an H-back kind of tape deal. And, he was offering to buy us tickets. And when I asked, I figured at first that they were just going to go there and confront him with Pop and Louie about the shit. And I'm like, shit, I'll go there, play chaperone, and make sure that he gets into a fight or something like that. And he's like, in the middle of the chat, he said, no, dude, I thought you'd want to be there we need you for your plan to go through. And I went into fucking rage. I went fucking ballistic. Because, for one, I told James not to tell anybody. And she still today says that she didn't tell anybody. And I'm like, Jinx, nobody else in this fucking world knew that. I came up with it right then. It is what it is, I get it. She told me. It was a very simple but pretty fucking good plan. Yeah, might as well. Yeah. They just did that shit to me. Right around this time. Even though I gave them all the information, so it kind of like took the wind out of their sails when they posted it. I'm like, so the only information that you told everybody that they didn't already have before was that my hair is going gray. Oh no! Literally, that's it. Um, but yeah, when Greg mentioned my plan, not exactly even what the plan was, just the fact that he was wanting to do it, I just went fucking nuts and I started. I want to say yell, but I went nuts typing wires or whatever into the server and leaving voice messages and shit, shutting it all down. And at this moment in time, I started taking screenshots of everything that's being said and whatnot because now that somebody else has the plan, if they decide to go through with it again, well, I'm damn sure I'm not going to jail for these motherfuckers. So I need something that I can show in case it gets ever brought up. Hey, were you involved in that? I was, but I got the fuck out of it, and they still did it anyways. And here is your evidence. And they're kind of annoying, but when I had the conversation with Rick after the fact, I'm like, what the hell do you think you were fucking gonna do? And he's like, well, we had the plan for fucking Noe. It only works for Noe because Noe's got the previous drug charges. Pop doesn't have those. He was, well, we could have figured out something. And like what? He's like, well, yeah, go there and pick him up or worse or something. I don't know. Okay, that beating up, sending, we get sending Noe to prison for over 20 years. That's the first one's, you can live through that. Second one, I don't know, that's pretty damn near pretty fucking bad. I know people that'd rather die than go to jail, prison for 20 years. I don't know about you. And then on top of that, what's worse than that? I can only think of really just, do I even need to say it? That's just why for the longest time I joked around, but I said it was like a hit, but it was. Later on, when I started threatening and everything else, when they wouldn't leave me alone, they kept taking me. I said, you don't understand, by Reg trying to buy the tickets and everything else, he has been taking steps. He's offering some sort of financial compensation to us to be involved in this crime. I'm like, do you guys not understand what the whole conspiracy charge is all about? Yeah. Y'all laid the groundwork already for fucking me to just use all of that. So y'all need to get the fuck off my nuts and leave me the hell alone. Well, of course, they went batshit crazy instead, somehow thinking that it would shut me up. After a while, I stopped fighting and whatnot just because I had my regular friends just be like, man, we're tired of all the drama. Like all this. I didn't have any intentions for any drama to be had. Prof decided to put out the email with all the shit that repeated over and over again. Not me. As I said before, Prof is trying to make me join him in whatever the hell that shit that he does be and all this other crap. I do have a little bit of respect for Snake, at least in the regards to his character. He came at me pretty damn straight up. Let's go. It's not that surprising, honestly. It's just not. It's kind of like one of those stupid things where, how do I put it? I think everybody got over their heads thinking that they were heroes or doing this and this shit or the other shit or all this other crap. And then it became just about whatever. The people that you hear from that group that sit there and say, none of this happened. Sorry, Shane, you weren't even a member back then. Back then, you were running around with Sleuth Intuition, and I forget the other guy, bisexual guy that hangs out with Reno and Joey Melvin, and you know what I'm talking about. But the one who blamed fucking what's his face, the couple that were arguing, you know who I'm talking about. But yeah, that guy, yeah, we're just running around, and I know this for a fact, he was investigating for sexual harassment rumors that were being made that you guys were using unproven information obtained from Hannah Shakespeare. Yeah, I think Pig was one of the ones, but I'm not sure, so don't quote me on that. But yeah, they had this small little group, and we were investigating them for sexual assault claims and trading sex for details of the crime and all kinds of other shit back then. They were really good at obtaining information, but that's usually because of only a couple of people. If it wasn't for those couple of people, most of that wouldn't even been done. And that would have been Cowboy was really fucking good at getting information. You know, finding out. Hey, what the fuck is anybody just let fucking Randy chill out with that fucking weirdo? He's a sexual offender. Everybody forget that. What the hell, man? I mean, I haven't looked. No, I don't remember nothing about some cousin doing this or his cousin doing that. No, I remember seeing a newspaper article. I'm pretty sure Cowboy got it for us. It had fucking Curly's fucking picture on it, which, and he was arrested for hitting on underage fucking, I think, high school girls or some shit, and got made a sex offender for that. And but I also remember, right? Didn't he beat up his grandma too? So, oh man, I swear to God, people are gonna be mad again at me tomorrow. Fuck it. For the life of me, I couldn't see why the whole damn group was just allowing this recently when I found it out in the first place. But no, there's only been one leader. Prop once again doesn't know shit. Yeah, there was only one leader. Period. And it was Jinx. I'm not saying that it's her fault all this happened or anything like that. But no, Ruckus was like we call like a senior member. You know, we got respect for him and everything else, but he wasn't really trying to make anybody do anything or do anything like that. Really, Jinx wasn't either. It was more like a bunch of people that just agreed. Like if somebody posted crime scene photos and a stupid video, like forfeits or something, we'd get the video taken down. Right? Somebody would find it, they would post it. They say, "Hey, blah 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 blah," and we would all start recording the video and stuff like that. I mean, if y'all were all on a Discord server or whatever, and I would think that most of this shit being shown, you probably would be doing the same at the time. You had to be there. What up? What about her? Huh? What about her? I mean, I don't like talking about her that much because she really has least to do with any of all this shit. She's not a true crime fan. She's not. She just happened to know the one person. That's it. I said some mean things because the time she pissed me off. They were kind of true. I still feel bad about them though, but it is what it is. People say shit when they're pissed off. Um, I would never identify her to anybody. So, and it's like all these people. I think it's like at least 100 and something people or whatever. They all turned on me because they thought I was truly threatening to dox two women to join up with somebody else who subsequently himself doxed like 5 or 6 women. They were okay with that. Delphi logic. But yeah, it doesn't even let me know even what the main charge that Louis in jail for right now. I mean, what really started the ball in motion of him getting in trouble. And this is why it upsets me greatly when people are defending him. And I know I'm going to piss people off on a set or whatever. But, wasn't he caught trespassing on a crime scene where a baby died? The fire? I mean, I know I barely ever hear the details of how he got in trouble in the first place. Then when they take him into custody, since he was on probation, they then gave him a drug test, which he told them and first, but then subsequently, yeah, he failed it. So there you go. That's why nobody's in jail. I do believe he was trying to go live or some shit, or was alive when I think somebody did report it. Yeah, well, even if all that did happen like that, what he was doing was fucked up. Yeah, I don't mind the people want to send them money for his commissary. Yeah, whatever. It's not my business to tell people what they can and cannot spend their money on. But don't sit there and say justice for nobody because nobody was fucking breaking the law. Laws aren't made just for us to pick and choose who we'd like to break them and all this other stuff, and who's allowed to and who's not. I know he's been going nuts for a long time, thinking all these people were out to get him, when quite a few of these people were just watching his channel, just actually enjoyed him. Though we did do the heavy-a-thon. And I thought that was awesome, actually. He really reached out, cared about a friend, and really helped out. And I give him mad props for that. But yeah, do wrong some, one good thing doesn't match other bad things, and vice versa, back and forth. When I flipped out on Prof when he boxed Moon recently, his exact defense to me was her name was already on my case. My response to him was, yeah, so it's yours, your brothers, and your sons. So that means I can start talking about all y'all too, right? As you can guess, he did not agree with that. So, yeah. For those who think that I just candy land around with it, no, I literally threatened to give his son's victims and his brother's victims on live, describing in detail what they had done to them. So I don't think much evil more than I can get. But I said just now, in regards to I guess it kind of did work. We backed up a bit, but yeah. But yeah, anybody got any questions? Or if somebody would like to come up or whatever, that's cool too. Yeah, there was this large portion of the time where it's like everybody just starts getting fucking arrested. Believe it or not, well, let me just be clear. Somebody who's been on probation before, everybody fails the first one. Everybody fucking fails the first one. When I got caught with a roach, I had 6 months probation, and they could still find traces of THC because they take the test within the 30-day time span, of you using mask. So, of course, I didn't see the pot. But as long as the levels were at same or dropping, you wouldn't be violating. But this wouldn't have been the way situation because he violated for cocaine. I know prophylaxis all the time. And that's where I'm still trying to figure out exactly what I want to do about that entire situation too. But yeah, anybody that's making a mistake of somehow thinking, I'm gonna make it clear right now. I'm not on the farm side or whatever you want to call them. I am not on the Derp squad side for sure. And damn sure I'm not on the crank side either. I can believe a little chunk of each, though. Just stop trying to eliminate or say that Calvin is innocent, because he's not. And you trolls can come in here all the time and tell me how I somehow think that Alan's not innocent. No, I don't. But I know how to look at a case. Apparently, none of y'all fucking know how to do. And look at the lack of evidence of any fucking quality. There's certain details like, once again, low quality circumstantial evidence. You pay the $10,000 to get somebody in there to do a really fucking good measurement on Prince Guy. You eliminate all this bullshit involving Ron Logan at the same time and all kinds of other shit. Never gets done. All these little details together, at least would give you a tiny bit more evidence to work with. If that car's brand is a smoking fucking gun, you have a car, you know what the car is, or what the car could be. You had a whole fucking video full of fucking cars that were parked there or whatever. How hard is it to, with your unlimited resources and unlimited fucking agents and blah, 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 to go out there and track down every single fucking, starting from Carroll County, on your way out? Because you would never have to leave Carroll County. You'd have found Richard Allen. You look at his card brain. His card brain is exactly what it told you what time he got there and what time he left. Richard Allen then decides to lie and switch his story around. Guess what? Now you get us into an interrogation room, especially after you find out that he is also an owner of a possible gun that could have left the unspent round. See how, that's how it should have been worded in the first place. Yeah. So little bits and pieces. I mean, he owned the same clothes. He would have been in the height range, the size range, the weight range. He walked similarly. Once you tack on all these things that, well, for one, other than the DNA, can you say there's any fucking bit of evidence that somehow eliminates Richard Allen? Anything? And technically, as Mr. Steve says, DNA or lack of DNA ain't telling you shit. Evidence of absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. Just because we have somebody else's DNA there does not mean that Richard Allen wasn't there. Period. Yeah, I did mention Alex and Adrian. I was kind of asked not to bring this person's name up earlier, but I guess I will try to word it as best as I possibly can without doing so. There was, and this is what I try to tell people, there's been crimes on all the sides. It is what it is. emotions getting the best of people, mental instability, possibility, all kinds of other things. But right when we met Alex and he joined us in the group or whatever, me first, and then Tony and me had a falling out with a specific person, and that person apparently was not well liked by Alex either. So the moment we met him, I guess Tommy was telling him about what I knew about or whatever and other stuff. So yeah, a little chat kind of thing or whatever was made for us to just the three of us or whatever to talk about the bullshit and all kinds of other things, but also talk about this. And it came to a point where we were being asked to make untrue statements to multiple law enforcement divisions about that person that were, fraudulent, that were fake, that weren't real. Behind the scenes, I did think this Alex was himself. It seemed like something was off or wrong with him. I wanted to protect him at the same time as the other person as well. I told Tommy that we needed to shut this shit down and to talk him out of this because it did not seem like a good thing to go lying to the police about some shit about somebody else. I guess common sense, right? And yeah, that's what he agreed, and that's what we did. But since then, considering that other person, there's been a lot more incidences and everything else that didn't involve me. But yeah, it's been a massive back and forth thing and everything else. And there's a lot of things that are being told by all the sides. It's obvious bullshit lies that can be verified and checked and all kinds of other stuff. And that's what I've been doing. It's literally quietly fucking doing just that. And well, I don't get why everybody's having fucking lie about all kinds of other shit. And why everybody's acting like they're better than this side or the other side, and how this has to be involved in some sort of conspiracy or this and that. No, they don't. They just literally have to somehow think they're like you. They believe in what they think, and they think they're righteous. That's it. The same reason y'all fucking think that you believe in what you think. You get really mad if you get contested or whatever like that. It's the same way both fucking ways. And y'all in a group or whatever, it's like a mob mentality type of thing. And I've seen it on all the sides now. Even from people I would consider close to me. It's like not about anything else. It's just fucking Delphi. And people thought that I'm just supposed to change my opinion on who I think did it, or why, or the very few things that I can actually show definitively as being linked to him. And so it's just because I feel like somebody's involved. That's one thing. Do I think they prove that? No, I don't. Yeah, I think that if anything, Angela and the Cranks have probably been the least involved in. Well, mind you, I never joined the group, so you can kind of. I mean, I never joined the props groups either. It was more like I sat in. I was a visitor. But the more that each side was being deceptive and wanted just to cause more drama, I didn't want any more drama. I had enough at that point. What's up, Adrian? I ain't got no enemies here. I don't. I'm not. against the prop. I'm not against Millie or this and that. The other. It's just like at the same time, this is a troll farm. If someone's going to disrespect me, I'm just not going to just shut up and plead dead. I wish I was, man. Shit. But yeah, I can respect everybody for having their little slightly different opinions when it comes to the whole Delphi thing. I even can have helped figure out facts on the whole conspiracy side just as well that just are fucking weird to me. It is what it is. At the moment, I gotta lean with what's most logical, so that's what I go with. That's it. I don't, yeah, I just don't like this whole the grouping up and attacking people and all this other crap. It's, okay, while this is going on, the Idaho fucking case was through the whole community like nothing, and it's like the majority of people just all just like jumped to the one conclusion, like everybody else was making, like, oh, Brian Cooper did it, and it was just like, okay. And that's when it hit me. It was like, if we're also agreeing with this, are you telling me that really all this fighting and everything else is just because people just have a difference in opinion? That's fucking it. And it seems childish or whatever. It was difficult, yeah. I remember I needed a break from Delphi, and I was like, I need one that's going to completely get my mind up for Delphi. And then I walked into fucking Idaho, and it was like everything was just laid there neatly. Like if you looked in like every direction or whatever, right when each piece of thing was figured. Like, what about Dylan Mortensen? Well, Dylan's fiance released a fucking statement on social media, like within a day or two of the crimes and stuff, telling a good idea of what we would now learn, what she was going to testify to. All this information of how do we know that Kaylee or whatever got worse attacks because her father told us on the damn news. All that stuff had evidence that you could find easily to point. And finally, at the end of it, most people with common sense would just be like, "Yeah, that dude did it." And now we got another case coming that just now happened. That it's like a new Brian Koberger case. I don't know whether they're calling it that, but I would just call it in case like Idaho, I guess, because a married couple, or I think it was a married couple. I know it was a couple, but someone snuck into their house, and from what I heard, the crime seems pretty fucking messed up, and they seem to have no means. They're starting to look into exes and all this other crap I've heard. And I think they have them on video footage, maybe. But yeah, when I went over there to Idaho and all that shit, that's when I met Lucy Juicy and freaking what's that one? Trustin, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I don't like this whole creator thing. You learn upon doing so that the shadiest motherfuckers on this website are probably creators. That's the best way that I can explain it, and it could be somebody that just seems so. I used to watch a streamer in regards to the Delphi case and the Idaho case, who literally beat his wife up while he was live on YouTube. He still does YouTube. Thousands upon subs. These people know this. I mean, so I mean, this is what I try to tell people. You can just trust what people tell you, and especially you can't trust the people that are telling you what they're telling you. You need to research and dig into any information or these people as needed. And that's why I had no problem. I still have no problem telling you exactly who I am, name by name, hell, my email address and everything else is my literal actual name. There's too much secrecy that's been going on in this fucking case. There's way too much shit being hidden. Too many hands in the cookie jar. Too many people playing puppet master in the background and everything else. That are acting like they didn't know each other in the first place. Like, seriously, I got emails to say otherwise. Come on, bro. My guess is some good. I never got in well with groups in the first place. I don't like when anybody tries to tell me what to do or whatever. I'm very easy and a simple person to deal with. I'll show you some respect. You show me that little bit of respect back. We never ever have a problem. No problems whatsoever. Nothing. We'd be A-okay. Like I said, I got along with Noe and Prop or whatever until the exact same time when they both decided to be disrespectful as hell to me and rude, trying to tell me what to do. And no, I put them all both in timeout and made them think about what they did for like a few months. There's more things I'm taking into right now. Coming off the one side, yeah, it fucking bothers me. Anybody here do that buy me a coffee thing? I got a weird question for you. Like how do I put it? Are you able to just send those back or decline them or whatever like that as a creator? I don't want to do it myself. I'm just wondering, in regards to different subjects. I'm not sure if anybody's even watching or anybody knows what I'm talking about, but I know about buy the guy a copy of whatever, Great Hughes, blah blah blah. It's even lately, it's even all kinds of fucked up shit, and these be people that'll be doing life with you and shit like 4 or 5 days before this, and then after that, same week they're attacking you. Thank you, Adrian. Hope you had a good night. And no, I don't like throwing people under the bus and everything else. I gave everybody a full opportunity to just back the fuck up. I don't know which one. If this would have just happened in real life, I would have just started grabbing a hold of dudes and fucking throwing them or some shit. But instead, this was on the internet, so had to figure out the equivalent, And no, it's not bragging. It's not doing this. It's not doing that. It should have never got that far in the first place. This drama, all this drama shit just fucking needs to end. It's not helping anybody. It's not helping Richard Allen. It's not helping the girls. It's not helping the poor girls. It's not helping nobody. So stop making up excuses to keep fights going. I don't know who's still starting shit with Prop. Just ignore him. And Prop, they ignore you and you don't fucking listen. Hey, don't look at me. Next time, when you're begging somebody to come help you fucking get your ass kicked, I ain't doing it. Both of you have the ability to either walk away or fight. How many times does it take to finally say, at least one of you just says fuck it and walks away? I mean, I literally did this myself months ago before Prop blew up that live again the other night. he's like I said, he's had that information for well over a year. And this entire time, he said had people fucking doubting me and all kinds of other shit. This everything else. He had all of that. But I'm not really against them either because I'm against all of them. I'm not on anybody's side. I just want to be on my side and let's fuck alone. I got my little friend group and stuff like that. You don't fuck with my people. You ain't got to worry on me. Very simple, plain on simple. I mean, once he started pressing and saying all this stuff from the email and my name's on the screen and all that other stuff, what do you expect me to do? Of course, I'm going to sit there and go, well, yeah, I said it. I always accept responsibility for the things that I do. And for honestly, I was doing pretty well for a while there, not getting involved in any fucking drama. I wouldn't even call this drama. It's starting to try to be drama, but I don't think if I pay attention to anything that's posted video wise or not accepting any friend requests, especially from overcard people. Like, come on, guys. At least send me someone that's an OG or something. Come on. I deserve that much. Man, I don't even know how many people are actually left in the farm. Y'all do realize that Gibbo and all of them, they're not fucking troll farm, right? He quit or got kicked out. I forget which it is, but I forget was he quit or whatever he said to me or whatever and talk. And no hate in that matter or whatnot. It's just like where's the other people? That's all. It's like you're done something. Must have did something not too great because all the usual names and shit that I remember being around when we were all kind of having all kinds of fun. Just weren't there anymore. Well, yeah, most of the people I named, but if you paid attention, you knew these people were these people. You know, Hoosier Cole's case has said for a while now, he knew that Wesley was fucking Delphi dummies and stuff, and we all knew that. And you know, the only ones that even denied that it was Snake Prophet and all them and their people. I don't know who the unhinged was. The music group people, but whoever they were, fucking badass. I heard so many rumors that like it was like Assman and someone in Boston, I think it was. I was like, y'all crazy. No way in hell. Ashley Schaefer with his badass fucking I forget what they're called now when you lay somebody's spatial thing on top of somebody else's or whatever, so you'll have 50 Nicolas Cages in a movie or whatever, but instead you do that with the troll form and all that stuff. So you know, that all fun troll stuff or whatever. It's just stop trying to control things. I mean, even now, you're sending mails and shit to all kinds of people, and I hope y'all know that. I don't even know why. Yeah, I must. I'll figure it out eventually. I'll just let that one happen like it is. I would hate to see anybody have to go to jail. No, I don't consider. I'm sorry. Like I said, you can get mad at me if you want, but I don't consider the time that Noe is doing right now the fault of anybody but himself. I can only look at the situation as if I had done these things myself, whose fault is it in the end that I'm now in trouble for that? And that would be me. That has nothing to do. If you guys want to send them some money for some Twinkies or whatever the fuck, I don't care about any of that. It ain't my business. What y'all do with your money is what y'all do. No, I don't think he's not innocent. He admitted the crimes he committed. Troll Farm really didn't break too many laws, just the one. And honestly, and that's why the main reason why I probably said to do all this, because I won't turn all over all the screenshots to him. But yeah, no, I have those. That's why it's like, well, how do I show that it has to be, and that's why I had to tell that part, including even me, and how I was involved in the whole thing. I also have ones involving this other person that I talked to earlier and stuff. And, it's just like, if I start handing over this stuff to people, then what's going to happen is that all kinds of people are going to start going to jail and everything else. And I don't believe in the system, and I damn sure don't believe in prison. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm a fucking criminal. I mean, my family were either cops or criminals. Everybody was a fucking damn near a criminal in my entire family. Just because we don't get caught or whatever, I mean, we're really good at being a criminal. So, okay? That's a dumbass thing to fucking brag about, but whatever. Man, and everybody just needs to fucking stop. I'm pretty sure nobody wants to fucking go to jail, so how about everybody just stop breaking the law or get better at it? I don't want to see any more posts with friends of mine that are wearing fucking. I mean, albeit in real life, I kind of see those happen all the time too. So, yeah, I guess I'll just deal with that. And get over it. Ain't nothing happened. Y'all to be that fucking upset. Like I said, if it's somebody using a fact or bit of information or whatever, it's already well known to the public. Well, I don't really disagree in certain instances because of the information that they're passing on kind of warns other people, for one. And for two, yeah, you would want the same information on these people if they were going into your neighborhood or whatever, because especially if you have like kids or something like that, right? So common sense. Um, we like to say that people don't have to distance from their family and everything else, but that's not true at all. Um, Damn near every crime that any of our relatives were involved in, we were basically get blamed for. But yeah, when your family fucks up, it's bad on you too. Jason needs to just chill the fuck out. I don't know what her issue is. She's damn angry. I mean, it doesn't really bother me or whatever. I don't like the chicks yell a bunch and stuff, but It's not like I'm not from a household with fucking crazy ass women. We're all over the place. It's just ain't nothing really going on. What you got is so mad? Hmm? Why you be so mad? Period. Stop using drama as a way to get subs. You know, stop using fucking tricks. Changing the way you do your channels for this, that, and the other just because um, you see others are getting views and stuff for it or whatever. I thought we were all supposed to be here to help people and get justice for victims and all this other stuff. So when the fuck did it really matter, what people actually give a fuck about us or not? If anybody else can think of any other questions, I'm trying to think out loud to myself. Anything that might need to be said or whatever that's might be important or whatever. Oh, if you need to ask, I'm the one that held back on legally having anybody charged. I'm quite certain probably do something like sue or some shit like that. So that's why I kept it to myself. At the same time, like I said, it's not like I'm trying to protect anybody or this and that and the other. Maybe I'm just protecting myself too. So just all this shit needs to stop. Why does it keep going? Why is it always with the drama? I mean, we all saw what can happen to Captain Howdy. And we can say all we want that it's just a somewhat domestic situation and everything else. And it didn't have nothing to do with Delphi. But then all I can see is that it's the day after the anniversary of when they found the girl's body. So it just seems that nothing involved in it. This is what I mean. You can't let this shit lead your life. You're not helping the victims and you're not helping yourself. When you start to get emotionally connected to all this bullshit, that's when it's time to probably, step away. Do something. You can't just do horrible things to people or try to do horrible things to people just because plain on simply fucking just don't agree with them. That's fucking retarded. Three fucking groups of people all fighting. Two of them actually, of those groups, actually think both things that Richard Allen basically is innocent. They're still fighting though. I don't fucking get it. Okay. And then the one that obviously thinks he's guilty. And hey, props to everybody. I have no issues. Why can't judges treat this just like in every other fucking case where it seems obvious who fucking did it? To your own little clicks and not cause bullshit. Is it still going to help you or some bullshit? Because if not, then just fucking just end it. Just stop it. I mean, you're probably already making all kinds of videos about me. I could care less. I'm not going to watch any of them. Not a bit. I want the trash. Y'all can say whatever the fuck you want. ain't nobody gonna come in here and say I'm lying though, because every single individual member that I could possibly think of, I know exactly who was involved in what, and did this and that, and the other, all that shit, like it was yesterday. But just stop with the fighting. You would think that y'all would have like for the girls at least. Just split it. All this fighting and everything else could have been effort and people thinking they could have been used on other cases like Flora and all the others. And really, I don't even know what the hell the troll farmers even doing at the moment in time, or who they're messing with, or why fucking Prop is trying to mess with them, or I don't know any of this shit. It's not my business. I don't care. So, yeah, as I said, any other questions or whatever about the case or the groups or whatever involved, or you can just wait for the 800-page book to come out. All right. Well, if that's the case, I appreciate everybody showing up. And like I said, I deleted the Layup with Moon while informative. I didn't think that I wanted my friend to be shown in that kind of light. That's all it comes down to. And mentally, she was not having a good night. If I had known a little bit better, I would never even have a shut shit down that way. Yep. Like I said, try to have a good night. No fighting, people. That would be great. Now I gotta find the invite button. There it is.